everyone, Amanda here from Scrimpingmommy.co.uk. Thanks for joining me today. After I had quite a lot of likes and comments on the little tiny Shabby Chic tags that I added to my embellishment box the other day, I thought I'd come and do a quick tutorial just of how I put them together and the type of things that I use. So when I'm making tags, I always have to hand some little templates that I make, so that I'm always making them a consistent size. There's loads and loads and loads of tag templates on Pinterest, loads of them, and it gives you all of the like official sizes of them and things like that. These are just kind of made by hand. This is copying a tag die, so I've drawn around it in thicker chipboard, and I've got several sizes always to hand, so that these are like gift tag size, these are maybe a logo in journals. So get yourself some templates cut, that's the first step. So I'm going to use a variety of things. These are a couple of things that I always pick up that are non-Stampin' Up, and I pick these up in the pound shop. And these are some little satin bows and then some little paper flowers. You'll often find them in the wedding section. I'm just going to open my blinds ever so slightly just to give it a little bit of light. Normally find them in the wedding aisle. The cheapest chips, and they're lovely to just quickly glue onto tags. So I always have some of those to hand. Today I'm using crumb cake, and I've just got a piece of card, and what I've done is I've just really lightly embossed it with a brand new embossing folder, which is called Scripty. 3D embossing folder. It's stunning, and it's got this lovely, can you see, lovely cursive font on, vintage style writing. It's absolutely beautiful. And I've done it quite lightly. Mess about with your sandwiches and your plates and you get a deeper emboss. So what I'm doing with that first of all is I'm going to cut it to the size that I want. I'm also using some of the bird ballad paper. I have pre-cut some little die cut circles, and what I've done here is the various sizes. I have used the Stampin' Up corrugated embossing folder, which gives you the look of corrugated cardboard. So I've done that first, and then I've die cut them with stitched edge framelets, circles. So there's two ways you can do it. Either you can cut your circles, then put them in the embossing folder, or the other way around. You get a neater finish if you emboss the corrugated, then die cut them, because it flattens it out slightly and you can see that edge better. If you do it this way, it's a more rustic look. That's just personal preference. I'm going to be using these ones today, and I'll save those for another occasion. And another thing that I've pre-done is, you will see here, I have heaps of pre-cut little dies, and these are from the it's called Well Written Framelets Dies, and it's a 24-piece set. There's loads in, and we've got these little flourishes that I used on my original tags, and I've cut out some words. I've cut some of the birds and the flowers and the butterflies. And the easy way to cut out these small dies is to, and I'll show you, line them up on your table, add washi tape to them, and then take them over and cut them out, and then you can lift that off, and you'll get quite a few goes at re-die cutting before your washi tape starts to come to pieces, and it saves you having to keep positioning them and moving them, and I cut quite a few sets out like that. So the first thing I'm going to do, just move all of those out of the way, I'm going to use my tag template, and I'm just going to hold it, and I don't care if it's not 100% perfect, it doesn't matter. Okay, and I'm just going to cut that out, but you want it fairly straight, you don't you don't want it all over the shop. Okay. Alright, and then just make sure it's straight again and cut that. So that's going to be our background. Okay, and you can make because you've got your template, you can cut these out, cut loads out all at once, and then just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. So I'm going to cut another one out in pattern DSP. These are fun to make. You can add them to gifts, you know, as an actual tag. People use them in journaling. Ladies love to make them and swap them, add them to little crafty packages. Lots and lots of reasons for using them. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to actually put those all together, all those layers, and then where I've marked my little hole, I'm going to punch using my crocodile. You can use any hole punch you want, just a normal standard hole punch would be fine. Okay, so I could put my template to one side. So I've got my 2 layers there. So what I'm going to do is I want that script to stand out a little bit. So I'm using the brand new Rococo Rose. I've been calling it Rocco Rose. I think I'm a little bit blind and I didn't see properly how it was spelled. Rococo Rose, not Rocco. What a wally. Never mind. So I've got some on my my doofer here on my ink blending tool. And I'm starting on my glass and I'm going to go in circular motions and just very gently ink up this tag. And what it's going to do, it's going to give a lovely edge, inky edge to the tag, which is a lovely, lovely look. And you can use Stampin' Up inks just the same as any other kind of popular ink blending inks. It's the same thing, they're all water-based inks. And then if you just go gently in a circular motion over the whole entire thing, not pressing on too hard because you don't want to flatten out your embossing. And I'm just going to add a little bit more ink, but I'm going to dab it off because I don't want it really dark. Okay, so that's why I start on a slippery surface and then work my way in. That will bring out all of that lettering. Okay. Just really, really gently go over it like that. And you know, you might want to go a little bit heavier in some places to make it even more prominent, lighter in others. It's just, you know, it just all adds to the look. So if I just zoom in, you'll be able to see that that has brought out all of that lettering absolutely beautiful. You love it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm also just going to ink the edge of the DSP. You don't have to, and if you don't have one of these cheap makeup sponges that you can get from the pound shop, will do more or less the same trick. They won't blend as nicely, but you can flick it over the edge of paper like that to give it an inked look. It'll do the same thing. Us real crafters are always in the pound shops looking what we can use because it saves us money. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line them. No, I'm not. I want to put some DSP on that one. I've forgotten that bit. So what I did on my other ones was I did a little square of DSP. So I'm going to measure that and I'm going to do the same kind of look. So this tag that I have here is 2.5 inches wide. Okay, so I'm going to do, and it's 2.5 inches wide and it's 4.5 inches long. So I'm going to do, so if I say 2.25 by 2.25 by, I'll do it 2.25 by 3. So let me just get a piece of paper. 2.25 by 3. Remember that measurement because I'll forget it. 2.25. We'll sing it. 2.25 by 3. I'll cut my 3 first. 2.25 by 3. Okay. Subliminal messages to me, everybody, so that I don't forget that measurement. 2.25. Oh dear me. 2.25 by 3. Now let me just have a look because I don't want to cover up all of that script. I'm going to make that a bit shorter. I'm going to have it 2.5. I want quite a lot of that script showing because I think it's really pretty. Right, so we've done that 2.25 by 2.5, so we've got the top part showing. Alright. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just ink over the edge of that one as well. You don't need to keep on and keep on re-inking this. You'll be surprised how far it goes when you've got it on a sponge, and you only need a light touch. Okay, so that just makes it more pronounced. So I'm going to use wet glue. Everybody asked me where I got my stand from. I don't know. My lovely friend Rachel gave it to me, but apparently you can buy them on Amazon. So just Google it, because I don't know. And I get asked every time. Right, so I'm just going to add that on there, making sure there's an even border all the way around, and that just sits nicely in that little decorative background. And then I'm going to layer them up, and I'm going to glue. Oh, shall I have it that way? You could have it that way so that I've got two different DSPs showing. In fact, I think I will. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to add a little bit more ink. I'm going to have the two different sides showing. So dab it off because I don't want loads. Just ink round, and it might see some people that don't really get crafting and they don't get the whole shabby chic and tags might think that's an awful lot of work for a tag, but it's not just a tag. It's a piece of art. These are also all joking apart, these are a great way to use up your scraps as well. You know, if you've got bags of scraps of DSP, if you're one of those people that can't let go, you know, and you've got scraps of DSP and you've got scraps of cardstock, cut them in the card into tags, get it embossed, cut the DSP up, cut yourself some words and make yourself heaps and heaps of these. They're awesome fun to make. I really enjoy them. Let me just get that hat. That's not quite at the angle that I want it at. Don't matter, it's fine. And I just think if you offset them like that, it just looks pretty. Okay. So then I would get my little circle. I'm just going to ink that as well. Okay. Bit of glue on the back. Once you get going, you can make these in absolutely no time. Stick the little, which way do I want it? I want it that way. I think I want the lines going upwards. Do I? I don't know, do I? Well, I've done it now. And then here we've got one of the little tiny flourishes. Okay, so tiny dots of glue. And, you know, just get out your little tiny dies and the little cute ones. You know, or your nice little word stamps. Anything that's cute. Cute, cute, cute. Add that on there like that. Super. And then I do have some little birds and some little flowers, so you could, I might put one up there. Might just put one of these little flowers up there. And there's little butterflies and all sorts, and I just think they're gorgeous. Little flower there. Where's my little butterfly? Here it is. Let's have one of these on as well. Little butterfly there going up the words. That's pretty, isn't it? I just reach for my gems. Not sure which gems I'm going to use, so I'll grab them both. I quite like this little pink one. Yeah, I think I'll have a pink rhinestone. And these are the Noble Peacock rhinestones. And it's these little things, like the little rhinestones and the little bows that are inexpensive, that can just, you know, if you just pick them up when you can, they just add that little extra something to your project. I'm just going to add that one there. And then these go from just being a little old gift tag to something quite special, and they're almost like little works of art, I think, tags. I think you can make them look really stunning, and you know, a lot of them can be as artistic as, say, ATCs and things like that people do. Right, so now I'm going to pick a word. I've cut loads of them out. As I say, that set has got, how many pieces has it got again? 24 pieces, and there's loads of different words. Loads. I really like the love. love, love, love. Now that's not going to stand out, but what I've done is I've cut them all in the same colour so that I can then, I've cut them all in, I don't know if it's very vanilla or whisper white, I can't remember, so that I can colour them in if I want. So what I can do is I can get my sponge dauber if I want, that I'm using, and I can just add some colour to that. And then the other ones that I've cut, I might want them on something else and have them a different colour. So, saves me getting loads of cardstock out. I can just colour it to what I want. Alright, and then all I have to do is dot some glue on the back. It's really easy. Less is more and all of that nonsense. Just tiny little dots. Okay. Oopsie daisy, I'm throwing it all over. And then we just add that across. Where should we put it? I'm going to put it across the bottom. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it there. Okay. I hope you can't hear my tummy rumbling. It's bubbling and rumbling because I'm hungry. Okay, so let's move these out of the way. I'll make some more tags later. And then to finish it off at the top and at the bottom, I've got some of this lovely, it's brand new lace from Stampin' Up, and it's called, I've just got it here in the catalogue, what's it called? Scalloped Lace Trim. And you can use this to decorate your tags. It's beautiful. You only need a really tiny bit as well, so I'm just going to add, just measure how much I want. Okay, I want about that much. Alright, and then make sure you've got dry clear glue, very thin line of glue along the bottom of your tag. And then you can add your lace. Make sure you've got it centred, you know, so that your scallops are even at each end. And then when you've got it lined up, then trim off the excess after. And then you know you've got it right. That's the best way to do it, I find. I mean, you can leave it hanging off if you want. I'm just going to trim it. There we go. A little bit of lace on the bottom there. Okay, and then this here is the Magnolia Lane ribbon. So I'm going to just cut, how much do I want? I don't need loads. About that much, I reckon. Trim that off. Cut both of them at an angle. Fold it in half, feed it through. Okay, I'm not worried if it frays because that adds to the, in fact I think I'll fray it on purpose. It does fray nicely. Those of you that like it a bit shabby and a bit, there we go, pretty. Okay, pull that through. Have one slightly higher than the other, like that. And then I'd probably use a little bit more of this lovely lace here and just tie it in a knot. Just trim a little bit off. Tie it in a knot. So that you've got that dangling down like so. Trim that. Trim that. These are just a little bit long for me. Shall I trim them off? Yeah, because they're bugging me, they're too long. That's better. And then I'm going to use one of my pound shop bows because I like to use everything in my stash. I don't like segregate my crafty things and only use Stampin' Up or only use this or only use that. I use them all at the same time. So I'm using my pound shop bows. I've got a little tiny bit of glue there. I've probably got a little bit too much on there. Let me just dab some of that off. And add my little bow there. Just hold that whilst it dries. That butterfly I should have put on after. It's hidden a tiny little bit, but there you go. And there's no limit to what you can do when you're making little Shabby Chic tags. I just think they're awesome fun. So there you go. That's how you do it. Go and have some fun. Use up those scraps. Get yourself some lovely, lovely word thinlets and some nice embossing folders. They're your main staples. Everything else can be made from bits and bobs in your collection. Thanks for watching. I'll leave all of the details of everything that I've used and the sizes of my tag over on my blog at scrimpingmommy.co.uk. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye.